The night it began was not extraordinary. Rain fell in sheets over Liverpool, washing the cobblestones and painting the lamplight into blurred halos. March carried that particular dampness, the kind that seeps into clothes and bones, that turns streets into rivers and windows into mirrors. For most of the city, it was a night of routine, people rushing home, buses steaming with wet coats, pubs glowing with warmth. For one 19-year-old student, however, that night was the beginning of something that would unspool her life thread by thread. Her name was Amelia Hart. At Greencliff Sixth Form College, Amelia was just another face in the corridors. Her teachers remembered her as quiet, polite, a little too withdrawn for her age. Friends called her the listener because she rarely spoke in group chats, yet always knew the gossip. She wasn't unpopular, nor was she remarkable. She existed somewhere in the middle, safe, invisible. 19 years old, working part-time shifts at a small cafe near the docks, she saved coins in a jar with dreams of one day studying psychology at university. Her small rented flat sat above a laundrette on Duke Street. It was cramped, but hers, a single desk pressed against a peeling wall, a window overlooking the car park, and shelves stacked with old books and mystery novels. Amelia had always been fascinated with the unexplainable. Ghost stories, unsolved cases, conspiracy forums, these were her obsessions. Her laptop was her portal, and on stormy nights like this one, it became more than a tool. It became an escape. That night, 12th of March 2019, the storm rattled the glass, and Amelia sat cross-legged on her bed, blue light flickering across her face. A chipped mug of tea cooled beside her as she scrolled through Reddit threads about unsolved disappearances. "The internet is like an ocean," she muttered to herself, half-quoting something I'd once heard on a podcast. On the surface, memes, tutorials, gossip, but deeper is where the monsters are. At first it was harmless exploration, a hyperlink tucked inside a comment, a user whispering about the real sites where people told truths too dangerous for the public. Amelia hesitated. Links like these were bait, she knew, either scams or malware. Yet curiosity had its claws in her. The storm outside seemed to lean against her window, urging her onward. She clicked. The screen blinked once, twice. Then lines of unfamiliar text scrolled across the page. The URL was nonsensical, strings of characters ending in onion. Amelia's chest tightened. She'd read about these addresses before, sites hidden from search engines, reachable only through special browsers. Somehow the link had opened without her even installing one. The page loaded slowly, like a photograph bleeding into focus. At the top was a crude banner, "Welcome to the Market of Shadows." Amelia's heart raced. Her instinct screamed to close the tab, shut the laptop, and never think about it again. But her hands stayed frozen, her eyes wide. Threads stretched across the page, each with titles both mundane and horrific. Untraceable accounts, $200, documents, passports, IDs, negotiable, rare requests, DM only. Her stomach flipped. She whispered out loud as if saying it might break the spell. "Amelia, this isn't real. It can't be real." Then she noticed a small icon at the corner of the screen, an envelope blinking red, a private message. She frowned. How could anyone message her? She hadn't registered, hadn't posted, she hadn't even intended to be here. Yet the notification pulsed like a heartbeat. Against reason, against fear, she clicked. The message was short, a single line. "Curiosity has value." Her breath caught. The sender's name appeared in bold letters. Blackwell 7T. Amelia sat frozen, every nerve screaming. It was as if the words were spoken directly into her ear. She closed the tab, slammed the laptop shut, and sat trembling in the glow of her desk lamp. Outside, thunder growled. She told herself it was a prank, some elaborate scam. Maybe the link had been programmed to send auto messages to anyone who clicked. She tried to laugh it off, but the sound was thin and unconvincing. Eventually, exhaustion pulled her into restless sleep. Yet when she opened her laptop the next morning, the message was still there, waiting. And beneath it, another had appeared overnight. I can show you more, if you dare. The following days became a blur. Amelia couldn't stop herself from checking the site, from refreshing to see if a new message had arrived. Each time her pulse hammered, and each time, there it was, another cryptic line from Blackwell. Knowledge is expensive, but you can afford it. You want to see the truth, don't you? Your world is small. I can make it bigger. At Greencliff College, Amelia sat in classrooms with her notebook open, pretending to take notes while her mind replayed the messages. Her best friend, Ella, nudged her one afternoon during sociology. Ella: "Amelia, are you even here? You look like you've seen a ghost." Amelia forced a laugh. Amelia: "Just tired. Been revising too much." But Ella wasn't convinced. Amelia's hand shook when she held her pen. She jumped whenever her phone buzzed, half expecting another message to bleed through the ordinary apps she used daily. By the third night, she gave in. She typed a single response, fingers trembling on the keys. "What do you mean by curiosity has value?" The reply came instantly, as if he'd been waiting. Blackwell 70. "Curiosity is the currency of the brave. You're already BERs, braver than most. Now let's see how far you're willing to go." Amelia's throat tightened. For the first time she felt something other than fear. A dangerous thrill, a pull into the unknown. She should have stopped, she should have shut it down. But 19-year-olds rarely believe in consequences until they arrive. That was the night she learned the dark web doesn't give gifts, it gives bargains, and every bargain has a cost. And that cost was waiting for her in the shadows. Liverpool, March 15th, 2019. 2 days had passed since Amelia first stumbled into the shadows of the internet. The rain had not let up. It was as though the storm had chosen her city as its stage, drenching every street, every rooftop, every secret. For Amelia Hart, the storm outside was nothing compared to the storm inside her chest. The words replayed in her head like a broken record. Curiosity has value. They weren't just words now. They had become an itch she couldn't scratch. Every time she tried to focus on revision, on lectures, or even on conversations with Ella, those words crept back, whispering in her ears, as if someone stood right behind her. On the third night, she could no longer resist. Amelia returned to the site. The glowing laptop screen lit up her dark room, turning her pale face into a ghost's mask. She logged back in, if it could even be called logging in, since the site had remembered her somehow. No passwords, no usernames, just her presence, as if she had been claimed. And there it was again, a blinking envelope. This time, the message was longer. Blackwell 70. You've come back. That tells me everything I need to know. You're not like the others. They run. They close the window. They pretend they never saw. But you want to know what lies behind the curtain. So let me ask, what would you pay to see the truth? Amelia's throat tightened. She typed slowly, her hands trembling. Amelia, I don't want to pay anything. I'm just curious. The reply came instantly. Blackwell 70. Curiosity is payment. You've already given me what I wanted, your attention. That's the down payment. Now, shall we raise the stakes? A chill prickled her spine. She glanced toward the window. Raindrops crawled down the glass like fingers. For a second, she thought she saw a reflection move behind her. Heart hammering, she turned, but her small room was empty. At school the next day, Amelia couldn't stop thinking about it. She sat in the library, pretending to work on her psychology coursework while sneaking glances at her laptop. Ella noticed. Ella. Amelia, what is going on with you? You look haunted. Amelia forced a laugh. Amelia. Just stress. Deadlines, you know? But Ella leaned closer, lowering her voice. Ella. No, it's more than that. You're checking your phone every 5 seconds. You don't even blink when I talk to you. Did something happen? Amelia's lips parted, but no words came. How could she explain? That she'd been talking to a stranger who seemed to know her better than anyone else? That she was both terrified and addicted to every message? No. If she told Ella, she might drag her into it. And deep down, Amelia knew this was something she had to face alone. That night, she returned again. This time, the message wasn't waiting. The inbox was empty. For a moment, she felt relief, until her laptop screen flickered, glitched, and then a live chat window opened on its own. Blackwell 70, tell me, Amelia, what would you do for $1 million? Her breath caught. She hadn't told him her name. She never used her real name online. Yet there it was. 4 letters that weighed heavier than stone. Amelia, typing fast. Blackwell 70. Names are the easiest thing. I know much more. A new message appeared. An image file. Amelia's shaking hand hovered over the mouse. She shouldn't click it. Every instinct screamed that this was a trap, but curiosity clawed deeper than fear. She opened it. It was a photo of her flat, taken from the car park outside, her window glowing faintly. Amelia's stomach dropped. She stumbled back from the desk, her hands covering her mouth. Her laptop chimed again. Blackwell 70. I can see you, and I can see your future. Do you want to change it? For this. The first time, Amelia considered closing the laptop and never opening it again, but a thought whispered, if he can see you now, will shutting the laptop make him disappear? The cursor blinked. The next morning, Amelia forced herself into normality. She tied her hair back, pulled on her school uniform, and trudged through the drizzle to Greencliff Sixth Form College. She told herself she would focus on psychology coursework, that she would talk to Ella, that she would act normal. The library was nearly empty. A few students whispered over textbooks. The hum of a printer broke the silence now and then. Amelia sat at a corner desk, opening her laptop. Not to the dark web, she told herself, but to research. She had an essay due about the ethics of psychological experiments. But her fingers hovered above the keyboard. Every time she blinked, she saw the name, Blackwell 70. Ella dropped into the chair beside her, hair frizzed from the rain. Ella. Amelia, are you even here? You've got that glazed look. Zombie vibes. Amelia, forcing a laugh. Just tired. Been revising too much. Ella narrowed her eyes. Ella. No, it's more than that. You check your phone every 5 seconds. You don't even blink when I talk. Did something happen? Amelia's lips parted. For a second she almost confessed about the sight, the messages, the eerie thrill, but the thought of dragging Ella into it made her stop. Amelia. It's nothing, honest, just deadlines. Ella didn't look convinced, but she let it drop. Amelia turned back to her laptop, but her essay remained untouched. The library felt too quiet, as though someone was watching her from between the shelves. That night, she returned again. She told herself she wouldn't. She even tried leaving her laptop closed, tried reading instead, but by midnight the pull was unbearable. She opened it. At first, nothing. The inbox was empty. Relief flooded her chest. Maybe he'd given up. Then the screen flickered, glitched, and a live chat window opened on its own. Blackwell 70. Tell me, Amelia, what would you do for $1 million? Her breath caught. Ice flooded her veins. She hadn't told him her name. She had never used her real name online. Amelia, typing fast. How do you know my name? Blackwell 70. Names are the easiest thing. I know much more. Her cursor blinked. Then a new message. An image file. Amelia's hand shook as she hovered over it. Every instinct screamed not to open it, but curiosity gnawed deeper than fear. She clicked. It was a photograph. Her flat. taken from the car park outside, her window glowing faintly in the darkness. Her stomach dropped. She stumbled back from the desk, hand clapped over her mouth. The laptop chimed again. Blackwell 70. I can see you, and I can see your future. Do you want to change it? Her vision swam. She spun toward the window, but the car park was empty except for glistening puddles. Still, her skin prickled with the certainty that someone had been there. For the first time, Amelia considered running, closing the laptop, never touching it again. But the thought echoed. If he can see me now, will shutting the laptop make him disappear? Her fingers trembled on the keys. She typed one word. Amelia. Yes. The reply came slower this time, almost deliberate. Blackwell 70. Then let's begin. That night, she returned again. She told herself she wouldn't. She even tried leaving her laptop closed, tried reading instead. But by midnight, the pull was unbearable. She opened it. At first, nothing. The inbox was empty. Relief flooded her chest. Maybe he'd given up. Then the screen flickered, glitched, and a live chat window opened on its own. Blackwell 70. Tell me, Amelia, what would you do for $1 million? Her breath caught. Ice flooded her veins. She hadn't told him her name. She had never used her real name online. Amelia, typing fast. How do you know my name? Blackwell 70. Names are the easiest thing. I know much more. Her cursor blinked. Then a new message. An image file. Amelia's hand shook as she hovered over it. Every instinct screamed not to open it. But curiosity gnawed deeper than fear. She clicked. It was a photograph. Her flat, taken from the car park outside. Her window glowing faintly in the darkness. Her stomach dropped. She stumbled back from the desk, hand clapped over her mouth. The laptop chimed again. Blackwell 70. I can see you, and I can see your future. Do you want to change it? Her vision swam. She spun toward the window, but the car park was empty except for glistening puddles. Still, her skin prickled with the certainty that someone had been there. For the first time, Amelia considered running, closing the laptop, never touching it again. But the thought echoed. If he can see me now, will shutting the laptop make him disappear? Her fingers trembled on the keys. She typed one word. Amelia. Yes. The reply came slower this time, almost deliberate. Blackwell 70. Then let's begin. The night of March 22nd, the storm returned, wilder than before. Amelia sat in the glow of her laptop, drenched in both fear and fascination. Blackwell 70. I'll be direct. I want you, and I will pay. Her heart hammered. Me, Leo. Pay for what? Blackwell 70. Your innocence. $1 million. Amelia's breath hitched. She stared at the screen, unable to comprehend. It felt like a joke, a cruel dare. But the seriousness of his tone left no room for laughter. Amelia. That's insane. You don't even know me. Blackwell 70. I know enough. I know you're alone. I know your father left when you were 12. I know you dream of studying psychology, but worry you'll never afford university. I know you look in the mirror and wonder if anyone will ever notice you. I notice you. Her chest tightened. These were details she had never written online. Private thoughts. Memories. How did he know? Blackwell 70. Think about it. One night, $1 million. You will never have to worry again. Her finger hovered over the trackpad. Sweat trickled down her spine. 1,000 voices screamed in her head. Run, shut it down, tell someone. But another voice whispered louder. $1 million. And with that whisper, the trap closed. April 2019, Liverpool. The days blurred together after the $1 million offer. Amelia drifted through life like a ghost, haunted by the glowing words on her laptop screen. She bury herself in college assignments, bury herself in Ella's chatter about boys and parties, bury herself in the mundane rhythm of teenage life. But the shadow of the proposal clung to her like a second skin. She wanted to forget it, to laugh at it as a sick joke, but Blackwell 70 didn't allow forgetting. At first, there was silence. No messages for 3 days. The absence was almost worse than his constant whispers. Amelia found herself staring at her laptop late into the night, refreshing the page, waiting for his name to appear. When the silence broke, it wasn't with a text, it was with another photograph. This one chilled her to the bone. It was taken inside Greencliff College. The photo captured Amelia sitting in the cafeteria, her chin resting in her palm, staring into nothing. She hadn't even noticed when it was taken. Around her, other students blurred in laughter and chatter, but the photo had isolated her, framed her, as if she was the only one who mattered. The caption read, "You look loneliest when you don't even know I'm watching." Her blood ran cold. That night, she returned to the chat. She didn't want to, but she felt cornered. "Amelia, how are you doing this? Are you following me?" Blackwell 70. Following? No. Protecting? Yes. Watching? Always. You fascinate me, Amelia. Amelia, you need to stop. This isn't normal. Blackwell 70. Normal is irrelevant. What's important is the choice before you. I don't waste time with girls who say no. You have the potential to change your life, to have power, to have freedom. But it comes at a price. One night, one act, $1 million. I will wire it, tax-free, untouchable. Amelia swallowed hard, her fingers trembling, beyond the keys. Amelia, you're insane. I'm 19, I'm still in college. Blackwell 70, exactly, untouched, pure, desired. That is your currency. You're sitting on the greatest fortune of your life and you don't even see it. Men will kill for what you carry. I am offering instead to pay. Amelia's stomach churned. She wanted to close the laptop, to run, to never see his words again. But part of her, a small, dangerous part, felt something else. Power. She thought of her mum working double shifts at the supermarket. She thought of their rented flat, with peeling paint and mould creeping up the bathroom walls. She thought of her dream of studying at King's College London, and how it was slipping further out of reach every time her mother sighed over unpaid bills. $1 million could fix everything. At college, Ella noticed the shift. Amelia had become quieter, sharper around the edges, as though something heavy weighed her down. Ella, you're not telling me something. Don't try to deny it. You're pale, you're shaking half the time, and you look like you haven't slept in a week. Amelia forced a smile, clutching her books tighter. Amelia, I'm fine, really, just stress. But Ella didn't believe her. One afternoon, as they studied in the library, Ella glanced at Amelia's open laptop and saw the tab. She only caught a glimpse, a strange logo, black and red text, before Amelia slammed it shut. Ella, what the hell was that? Amelia's voice cracked. Amelia, nothing, just research. But her trembling hands betrayed her. The breaking point came on April 10th. Amelia's mobile rang late at night. An unknown number. Against her better judgment, she answered. Amelia. She froze. Amelia. Who is this? Voice. You already know. The room seemed to tilt. It was him. Blackwell 70. Not just a text, not just an email. A voice. Real. Human. Amelia. How did you get here? At my number. Blackwell. I have everything. Numbers, addresses, bank accounts. I can see your mother's flat. I can see the laundrette below. I can see Ella sitting in her bedroom. From that night, Amelia's world began to unravel. She saw shadows where none should be. She heard footsteps behind her that vanished when she turned. An anonymous bouquet of black roses appeared on her doorstep with a card that read, "Soon." She tried to tell herself it was a prank, some elaborate scam, but the fear was too real. She began skipping classes. She stopped answering Ella's calls. Her mother noticed the dark circles under her eyes, the way she jumped at every sound. Mother. Amelia, love, what's wrong? You're scaring me. But Amelia couldn't answer. The truth was unspeakable. By April 20th, Amelia broke. She logged onto the site one last time, her hands shaking. The chat opened instantly, as though he had been waiting all along. Amelia, if I agree, it ends after that. You'll leave me and everyone I know alone. Blackwell 70, yes. One night, one transaction, and then you are free. Amelia, how do I know you'll keep your word? Blackwell 70, you don't. That's the game. But remember, refusing has consequences too. She sat in silence, staring at the blinking cursor. Her heart thundered in her chest. Amelia, where? Blackwell 70, London, May 5th. A hotel you'll recognize. Room 607, come alone. Her vision blurred with tears as she typed the final word. Amelia. Okay. The reply came instantly, and it chilled her to the bone. Blackwell 70. Good girl. I knew you'd make the right choice. The devil always collects his due. Amelia slammed the laptop shut, bile rising in her throat. She felt dirty, broken, trapped in a cage she had built herself. But worse than fear, worse than shame, was a small whisper inside her. $1 million. One night, one way out. And so the deal was made. May 2019, Liverpool. Amelia counted the days to May 5th like someone waiting for execution. Every tick of the clock dragged her closer to a night she wished she could erase, but couldn't escape. And Blackwell made sure she never forgot. The emails. It started with messages in her inbox. A picture of Ella walking home. A photo of her mum at the supermarket checkout. A single line beneath them. Do not disappoint me. Amelia tried to block the sender. A new address appeared within hours. No matter how many walls she tried to build, he tore them down. One evening, as she returned from college, she felt it, the prickling certainty of eyes on her back. She turned sharply. A man in a black coat stood at the far corner of the street. She couldn't see his face, only the glow of a cigarette. When she blinked, he was gone. Her hands shook as she fumbled for her keys, heart hammering. May the 3rd, 2 days before the meeting, Amelia's phone rang, same rasping voice. Blackwell, your silence is admirable, Amelia, but don't mistake silence for safety. If you run, your mother won't make it home from her shift, neither will your friend. Amelia, trembling. I'm coming. I said I'd come. Blackwell. Good girl, remember, 7 p.m, room 607, don't be late. The devil hates waiting. The line clicked dead. That night, Amelia lay in bed staring at the ceiling. The storm had returned, rattling her window. She clutched her pillow, whispering to herself, one night, then it's over. One night, then freedom. But deep inside, she knew the truth. Deals with the devil never end with freedom. As the clock struck midnight, another email arrived. No text this time, just a live video feed. Her own bedroom, filmed from the corner. And in the bottom corner of the frame, a shadow moved. June 2020, Liverpool. A year had passed since Amelia's deal with Blackwell. A year of silence and shadows. A year of watching her life rot away while money sat untouched in her account like a curse. She wasn't living anymore. She was surviving. One night, Amelia's mother found her crying on the kitchen floor, clutching her phone. The screen showed another message. "You are still mine." Her mother begged her to explain, but Amelia couldn't. If she spoke the truth, she feared Blackwell would punish them both. That night, Amelia made a decision. She would vanish. She packed a single suitcase, burned old clothes, deleted social accounts. She even cut her hair short and dyed it black. With trembling hands, she forged new documents. A new name, Lena Morris. She wasn't Amelia anymore. Amelia was dead. On June 15th, before dawn, she boarded a flight. Destination, a remote village in Romania. A place where no one knew her, where the internet was slow, where she hoped Blackwell's reach would end. As the plane lifted, she whispered to herself, "It's over. It has to be over." Back in Liverpool, Ella visited Amelia's flat. The room was stripped bare. No clothes, no photos, no notes. Only a laptop 2021 on the desk, remote screen Romania, keyboard smashed. For months, on the broken screen, Amelia, a single message glowed faintly. "You can run in silence, but you'll never hide." A village tucked between mountains, dirt roads, wooden houses. No cameras, no crowds, no whispers of the dark web. She worked at a tiny cafe, blending into the background. For the first time in years, she almost believed she was free. Almost. Her new neighbours only knew her as a quiet British girl who kept to herself. She avoided phones, avoided computers. At night, she wrote in a journal, forcing herself to believe that Amelia Hart had been buried forever. Sometimes she even smiled. Sometimes she believed the nightmare had ended. Then came the knock on the door. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. Lena froze, heart pounding. She wasn't expecting anyone. No one knew her real name. No one should be here. She opened the door to find a small package on the step. No address, no name, just her. Inside was a single black rose and a note, "The devil always collects." That night, unable to resist, she borrowed an old village computer. She logged into her abandoned inbox. A new message waited. Blackwell 70. "Hello again, Amelia. Or should I say, Lena?" Her blood ran cold. Her hands trembled. After all the miles, after all the disguises, he had found her. The last line made her scream, "You never escaped. You never will. Because I'm already here." And from outside her window, in the reflection of the glass, she saw him, a tall, shadowed figure in a black coat, smiling. That was the last anyone ever heard of Amelia Hart. At Greencliff Sixth Form, her disappearance became a whispered legend. On the internet, her story was nothing but a rumour. But in dark corners of the web, her name still flickers, a warning, a curse, a reminder. Curiosity has value, and the devil always collects.